Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So we have a very rainy Sunday today, but it is still bright enough, I think, to do some filming by the window. So that's where I'm set up. And as I knew they would, my samples have been slowly multiplying over in the corner by themselves. And I have outgrown my racks, but I have my little Tiltwell bottle holder holding our inks for today. I have 12 samples picked out for us, 4 Robert Oster, 4 Van Diemen's, and 4 Colorverse, I think. So I'm just going to grab them out of the rack as I come to them, and then we'll see what we have. And I think most of them have little swatch tabs on top of them, but I do have some extra little ones in case they're missing one. So let us get started. First up, we have a Van Diemen's ink, the Wilderness series, and this is Devil's Kitchen. Ooh, that sounds very sinister. Oh, and here's little Bobo. He's been holding on to a bottle of silicone grease for me, but let us put our sample vial in him today. Oh, and I have my yet another fresh new stack of swatch cards. I just go through these things like they're going out of style. So, what did we say? This is Van Diemen's. Is there an apostrophe in Van Diemen's? Yes, there is. Is there an apostrophe in Devil's Kitchen? No, there's not. So, Van Diemen's Devil's Kitchen. Oh, well, this is looking like a lovely teal. And Mr. Q-Tip. Here we are. I haven't done much with Van Diemen's ink. I think they're so beautiful, but I don't think I own any, and I just have a few samples. My goodness, this is feeling very dry. Good heavens, it doesn't want to come off the Q-tip. Ooh, and then that's that's really wet. Okay, this is going to be an interesting swatch. And no drip. No drip for you. Okay, interesting. So we will set him aside to dry. And I was just going to say something, and the dryness of the ink startled me. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh well, it will come back to me. Let's see, who is this? This is Colorverse Laurel, and he needs a little dot, so we will dot him. All right. Colorverse Laurel. I am absolutely drawing a blank. I cannot remember what I was about to say. Who knows? It is just a lazy Sunday afternoon. See, this one is feeling much wetter. It is sliding right off of the Q-tip. We'll get our little drip. It'll try to drip a little bit. No, maybe not. Maybe it needs a little more ink. There we go. Ooh, he really took off. And I'll do our little ring here. Very nice. Ooh, and I have gotten ink all over my fingers, which is what you do when you're playing with ink. I really enjoy Colorverse inks, and this is one that I haven't had it in a pen. It's very pretty. And oh, who's next? Van Diemen's Frisonette Aquamarine. That's such an interesting name. I wonder what that refers to. I know all of the Van Diemen's inks have something to do with Tasmania, and I didn't realize this until recently, but Van Diemen's Land used to be the name of Tasmania. I guess it was an area of Tasmania, but I was reading up on one of my favorite people. Gosh, I can never remember the poor man's name. Good heavens. Shackleton. Shackleton, who went on the Arctic exploration. I was reading about the map of Antarctica, and they were traveling to Van Diemen's Land. Ooh, can I fit this in? No, I can't. Marine. I should have put that on 2 lines, but that's okay. We don't stand on ceremony here. Let's see. Boy, my fingers are so inky. Let me see. Ooh, this is light and bright. Feels a tad on the dry side. Very interesting. And some nice shading on the writing there. So we'll see how he dries. I finally started watching season 8 of Game of Thrones. I know the rest of the world is long since over Game of Thrones, but not me. The rest of the world convulsed when the final season came out, but I was behind. I started watching it very late. So this one is Robert Oster, Green at Night. And I've been trying very hard not to learn anything about the show as I've been watching it, but I watched up through season 7, gosh, I guess last year, and then I just stopped around the pandemic. I just stopped watching it, so I finally decided to finish off the series, and I just forgot what this is. Robert Oster, Green at Night. But it's been such a cultural phenomenon that it's very difficult to avoid hearing all the references to it, so I have an inkling of what's going to happen, and I don't like knowing, or I don't like having an inkling of what's going to happen. I just want to be surprised. But oh well, that's what you get for being behind. But I am frequently behind on TV shows. Whatever the popular show that is out these days, I have not watched it. I might not have even heard of it. Good heavens. So I don't even know what people are watching these days. I know The Handmaid's Tale was big, and what, Killing Eve I think was big. Oh my, this one is very dark. Very dark and very pretty. Oh, I like it. But I have not seen either of those shows. Not that I don't want to, I just never seem to get around to watching television shows. Very nice. A dark moody green for a dark moody day. Hopefully we have enough light for us to see our swatch cards. Let's see. I need a new place to put my Q-tips. Okay, where was I? But I would be very interested to know what your favorite shows are these days, so I can try to catch up with them. Here we have Colorverse Project number 2, Bluish Green. Ooh, this is one that I've been thinking about getting. Somebody has Colorverse ink on sale. Not that I need to buy ink ever again, but I was just thinking that I need to get a sample of this so I can try it out and see if I want to buy it before the sale goes off. And what do you know? I already had a sample of it in my arsenal. So let's see how this looks. I think the swatches of it I have seen look very teal. So let's see. It seems really dark. So this is Colorverse. And of course, most inks are very dark coming off this glass pen. And this is Bluish Green. Colorverse has some fascinating ink names, but I have to say Bluish Green, not a very interesting ink name. So I don't know what they were thinking there. Ooh, my glass pen's trying to escape. Oh, and we have to swatch it. Let's see. Ooh, this is really dark too. Definitely a dark teal. Would I call this bluish green? I would call it dark teal. I don't know. It's giving us a nice drip though. And let me get our little cap here. It's like blue-black. I don't know. I wouldn't call this bluish green at all. I mean, bluish green I think of as a much brighter color, a much lighter and brighter color. That is quite dark. All right, and who is next? Next up we have Van Diemen's Tassie Seasons Cloudburst. Well, this is an appropriate ink for me to be swatching on a day when it is raining. Ooh, I'm trying not to get ink everywhere because my fingers are so inky. All right, so this is Van Diemen's Cloudburst. That is looking like a lovely purple. Ooh, and it's very wet. I would probably put this in the blurple category. Very nice. Right up my alley. Woo. It's interesting how some inks from the same manufacturer are very wet and some are very dry. That is lovely. Oops. Uh-oh. I think my cards are smearing each other. I've been setting them aside to dry and they are not getting along together. So y'all better stop that. That's the funny thing about ink. It just gets everywhere. And you have one teeny little speck of ink and you go to wipe it up and suddenly it turns into a gigantic puddle. Like here on Bobo, we have this teeny little drop of ink and it's, well, it didn't spread out that much, but you know what I mean. I wipe up my table sometimes and I can't even see the specks of ink and suddenly my my paper towel is covered in ink. So very interesting. And here's our little dot on top looking very purple. All right, who is next? Let's pick this one. This is Robert Oster Deep Purple. These guys are looking a little similar. We'll see. Okay, so what did we say this was? This is Deep Purple. I know Deep Purple is a band, but I can't remember what their music sounds like. I wonder if Robert Oster had them in mind when he made this ink. I thought it was very interesting that Diemen came out with a line of inks that were named after songs. I wish they'd do some more of those. I just think it's cool to have an ink named after a song. But it was Communication Breakdown, which is Led Zeppelin. Oh, and Smoke on the Water was an ink. Isn't that by Deep Purple? I think it is. And then Purple Rain, which of course is Prince. And gosh, there was one other one. Weren't there 4 of them? What was that other ink? Oh, Dazed. Was it Dazed and Confused? No, that doesn't sound right. I can't remember. But I just thought it was really cool. So they have this line of inks that are named after songs, and then they have the guitar inks that are, gosh, this is feeling really dry. All right, Mr. Oster, you're making some dry inks. But they had the guitar inks that were fashioned after the finishes of guitars. And then I think they had their line of composer inks. Don't they have like Tchaikovsky and Schubert and Bach and all these different people with inks named after them? So go Diemen. Very cool. And that is a lovely purple ink. Very nice. And I will try not to get the cards to bump into each other again. Okay. Who is next? Here we have Colorverse Deep Purple. Wait a minute. Where did that ink go? Who picked out all these deep purples? Oh, it was me. Because, you know, purple's awesome. Let me see. He needs a little dot. Gosh, there used to be some commercial. Somebody was having a sale. It was like the red dot sale, and the announcer had a weird accent, and he would say, "Spot a dot. Come to the sale and spot a dot." I don't remember who that was, or what company that was for. Okay, so here we have Colorverse. Also, Deep Purple. Oh, I think this is part of their, what did they call it? It's on the label here. I'm just wiping my glass nib off. The project inks. So this is another one that I was thinking about getting and wishing I had a sample of it, and look, here's a sample. So I knew what I wanted even before I wanted it. I have a couple of the project inks. I've got the pale blue one. I've got the pale blue one and the pale purple one. I forget what they're called. Alrighty. That is certainly some deep purple. Very nice. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot his dot. Oh, I can put the lid on this so I don't get ink everywhere. So let me see. Here is his deep purple. Hmm. 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 I can't remember when I ordered these samples. I've had them for a while, but I must have had purple on the brain. And I do that. I'll go to a website and look at the samples, and I'll put a bunch in my cart, and what do you know? They all look very similar. All right, next up we have another Van Diemen's ink. This is the Tassie Seasons Wineglass Bay. I'm going to buy some Van Diemen's ink one of these days. It's like Robert Oster. It took me forever to buy my first bottle of Robert Oster ink. And now I've got, I don't know, like 6 or 8 of them. They just multiply when I'm not looking. Uh-oh. I got a little schmutz on the card there, but I think it's the right color. So we're going to go with it. So what did we say this? This is Van Diemen's. Oh my goodness, it is so bright. Van Diemen's wine. Are they different words? No, that's one word. Wineglass Bay. And I'm guessing Wineglass Bay is named after a bay in Tasmania. I haven't looked it up though. Speaking of bays, I just have to go on a bit of a rant for a moment. Colorverse has come out with these new United States inks, which I love. I love that they're doing USA themed inks. But I have to tell you, the Chesapeake Bay ink is brown. The Chesapeake Bay is not brown. I know it's been polluted. We are working on cleaning up the bay. They've been working on it for many years. But it is not brown. Oh, when I saw that ink, it just disturbed me so much. I need to write to them and say, hey, you need to make the Chesapeake Bay ink look like the Chesapeake Bay. Which is like any other large body of water. It's blue, green, bluish green, teal, you know, it's watercolored. It's not brown. Oh my goodness. So this is a bright, bright, bright blue. Looks like it has some nice shading in there, but again, a glass nib, it's hard to tell. Woo, super bright. Now we do have the Great Dismal Swamp here in Virginia. And if that ink was called Great Dismal Swamp, I would have no problem with it because a swamp is, you know, grayish brown. Oh, but for them to call the ink Chesapeake Bay and it's brown, what were they thinking? Okay, this is Robert Oster Morning Mist. Ooh, I've been interested in this ink for a while. Hence the sample. Gosh, I feel like I'm just getting ink everywhere. The ink is spreading and my hands are going to be completely green by the time we're done with this. But that's what soap and water is for. Okay. Oh, I remember what I was going to say at the beginning. I've been putting off buying the Van Diemen's ink because, you know, there's so many that I like and I can't decide which ones to buy first. I can't buy all of them. I can only buy maybe 1 or 2 bottles at a time. And I'm just indecisive about what I want to order. Therefore, I have ordered nothing. Well, I had that problem with the Blackstone inks. And I was going to buy some. Oh, shoot. I was going to buy some and I was going to buy some. And now you can't buy it anywhere. It is gone. What happened to Blackstone inks? So I am just devastated. I love to go on the Mountain of Ink website. She does all these fabulous comparisons of inks. And so many of the inks I like, she compares them to Blackstone Barrier Reef Blue, which was at the top of my list to order, except I never got around to ordering it. And now I can't get it. So every time I see her compare something to that ink, I just, I'm so upset. And I went on Amazon, I went on eBay, nobody has that ink anywhere. Oh, it's a conspiracy. So I don't know what happened to the company, but I think they're just kaput, which makes me very sad. Well, this is a lovely soft green. And who was that other company? They just like came out of nowhere and then they went back to nowhere. Was it Standard Bindery? Is that the one I'm thinking of? They had like what was the ink called? I think they had one called Canyon Walk. And they had several different nice inks, and I never ordered them, but they were here and then they were gone. So I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't buy things on the spur of the moment. Let's see, here we have Colorverse Sea of Tranquility. Yes, that's what I need. I need a Sea of Tranquility. Oh, and he needs a dot. But I don't want to rush into something and, you know, impulse buy. But then if I take too long, it either sells out or the company goes under or something happens to it. So, you know, you just can't win either way sometimes. So if any of you out there have some Barrier Reef blue, let me know how you like it, because I think it is gorgeous. And I don't need any more blue ink. I probably have 12 inks that look exactly like that, but it is so pretty. I love it, but I just waited too long. He who hesitates is lost, and I lost out. Gosh, there's been a lot of things I've lost out on lately in the pen world. Those what were they? Not platinum preppies. The platinum, what you call it? Tranquility. Did I spell that right? Quility. I think I did. The all I can think of is Quasar. It's not the platinum Quasar, not the Profante. You know the one I mean, the metal one. The Venus belt. Oh, that pen is so beautiful. And of course, when I decided I wanted to buy one, they were all gone. I think I found one at a UK pen shop, but they wanted like $40 for it. $40 for a pen that should be, you know, $20 or less. I just didn't want to pay it. So now they're gone. I won't ever be able to get one. Do I need one of those pens? Of course I don't. I have a gazillion pens. But I just thought it was so pretty. And this ink is very pretty too. It's a very nice grass green. For the longest time I was trying to find a green ink to match my Yoda pen. I have, you know, Schaefer came out with those Star Wars pens. And I got Yoda and R2-D2. I have to say that Yoda, what am I saying? The R2-D2 pen is my favorite of the two. Because the Yoda pen, I love Yoda, but the pen is just like green and brown, and you know, the colors weren't really doing anything for me. But I was trying to find a green to match the green of the pen. Okay, this is our last ink, Robert Oster Blood Crimson. Now I'm not much for the red inks, so I'm not sure why I bought this one. But I had something in mind. So anyway, I have all of these green samples in my collection that don't match the pen at all, and I don't really like the color of the samples. So consequently, I don't use that pen very much. Poor Yoda. I do like my R2-D2 pen. He is super cute. Blood Crimson. That is not my red at all. That is a much lighter red than what I usually go for. So yeah, I'm not sure what I was thinking when I picked this one out. Although, you know, could I have, well, no, this came from Pen Chalet. I don't think they do the random samples. Sometimes I get weird samples from Goulet or somebody else that does the random samples, but I don't think I've ever gotten a random sample from Pen Chalet. So yes, I intentionally purchased this ink, and I honestly cannot remember why. Because I felt like I needed a red ink, maybe? I don't know. I don't have many red inks, so perhaps I needed something red to compare something else to. So anyway, we will let these guys dry, and I will be back. All right, let's look at some ink. So here we have Van Diemen's Devil's Kitchen. A very nice teal. It does look like it has some nice shading. Maybe a little hint of sheen. These darker spots are still drying a bit, and I see a hint of sheen around the edges, but not too much. This one did seem kind of dry to me, but it's a very nice color. And here is Colorverse Laurel. This is the one that attacked another card, so he has just run all the way off the back. So naughty naughty swatch card. But it looks like it has some shading and some sheen. Can we see the sheen? Maybe. But yeah, it has some red sheen. That's a nice green. And next up we have Van Diemen's Frisonette Aquamarine. This is probably a little too pale for me. I do see a hint of some pink sheen, but I don't know. I'd have to get it in a pen and try it out, but it just seems kind of light for me. It reminds me of another ink I have, Diatrimentis Sky Blue Myrrh. I might have mentioned that ink before. I bought it, I think it was on sale on the Goulet website, so I bought it because, you know, it was on sale. Here is Robert Oster Green at Night, a lovely dark green. And it has some sheen. I think we can see that a little bit. Looks like it could have some nice shading as well. But that Sky Blue Myrrh, I do not like that ink at all. I bought it because it was on sale. Foolish Mary. Here is Colorverse Bluish Green, which is kind of a greenish gray, I would say. I don't really see much blue in this. It does have quite a bit of red sheen, but I'm glad that I'm looking at this sample because somebody, I forget who, somebody has Colorverse inks on sale. And I was tempted to get some more of the project inks, but I'm glad I've had a chance to look at this sample because I don't really think this ink is doing much for me. Now we've got the Green at Night, which is a similar color, but I think the Green at Night, it has more green to it, so to me it's a little bit more interesting. They are kind of close though. That dark color with some red sheen. They both have some sheen. I think the Colorverse ink has a bit more sheen. I don't know. Maybe I like this color. I do not need to buy any more ink. Don't like that color. If you like it, you'll want to buy some. Okay. Here is Van Diemen's Cloudburst, which is very pretty. Kind of a blurple with some red sheen, a little bit of red sheen. Very nice. Can we see that? Yes. And then continuing in my purple theme, we have the Robert Oster Deep Purple. A lovely deep purple with some, I guess that's some greenish gold sheen to it. Very nice. Now this was looking purple to me in the beginning, but then next to this deep purple, excuse me, I keep hitting the camera, but next to the deep purple, it definitely looks blue. And then we have another deep purple. This one from Colorverse. This is one of their project inks. It kind of has a hint of some green sheen. Can we see that? Maybe a little bit, but I would say this is more on the shading side. And then comparing it to the Robert Oster Deep Purple, the Colorverse is looking redder and maybe not as saturated. Interesting. Depending on what your purple needs are, one of these might fit the bill for you. Whew, look at those green fingers, my goodness. I'm gonna have to scrub those babies. And then, let me see. Oh my goodness, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have so many inks. I don't know if I'm gonna have space enough to have them all in the shot. Let's put you up here and move you guys over here. Woo! Squeeze them in, squeeze them in. Here is Van Diemen's Wineglass Bay. Again, it has what looks like some nice shading, but again, with the glass nib, it's hard to tell. And it does look very close to the Frisonette Aquamarine. Now this one doesn't have any sheen that I can see, and this one does have some sheen, but they're very close. If I had to pick one, I would probably go with this one because it's a little bit darker, but they're still both pretty light for my taste. Again, this is why we get samples, so we don't end up with a whole bottle of ink that we don't like. Here is Robert Oster Morning Mist. And I've seen swatches of this online, and I think it looks so pretty, but I don't know. Would I use this ink? Would I write with this ink? I'm not sure. It's kind of reminding me of Devil's Kitchen, but I think Devil's Kitchen is a little bit more saturated. And they both have a hint of sheen. So yeah, if I had to pick one, I would go with the Van Diemen's ink. And let's see, we have Colorverse Sea of Tranquility. Very nice green. It looks like it has some lovely shading in the writing. I don't see any sheen, but just a very nice kind of grass green. Very pretty. And finally, we have the Robert Oster Blood Crimson. And it looks like it has some shading to it. I don't really see any sheen. But yeah, this is looking kind of pinkish almost. I don't know. Definitely not my red. I'm not sure what I was thinking when I picked this one out. But again, sometimes these swatches online can be misleading. So who knows? But now I have another red to compare with my other inks, so it's not a bad thing. All right, that is all for today. I hope you found these swatches interesting, and I hope you found some that you liked. Ooh, trying to get them all in the shot here. They're like dominoes. When one goes, they all go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.